Hey there, you are very welcome to this episode of Corporate Cam. Whether you are watching on YouTube or whether you're listening on your favorite platform, you are very, very welcome. Today, we are looking at our revenue generating habits again, and we are in part 2. So we have 3 revenue generating habits here just for you. The last time we looked at time management and we looked at investing in you and your business. And just a little recap, making sure that our time management is time blocked and that it suits us. Okay. That's the biggest thing that I can, remind people that your time management suits you. And you know what? If that is not using a planner and not using a diary, that's okay. We need to navigate the best way forward for us, investing in you and your business. The earlier that you learn this, the best way forward, honestly. The more you spend at the start, the better off you will be, and the more you continue to spend. And if you find that maybe you're 3, 4, 5 years in business and you're looking for that next step, honestly, a mentor for business, a life coach, really look at communities you can join in order to better you and surround yourself with people that are just going to, not necessarily people that are like-minded, but people that are going to create a space that welcomes future you and how you are and how you want to be seen. The next one in this part 2 is number 3, create a pick me list or a M list. And when I say M, I mean M. This is a list that I started to do in the last year or so. It's such a dull pain in the ass list, but you know what? It has got me so much business and so much PR and recognition out there. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I do it. It's super, super interesting. It's really my out of my comfort zone list. So you can do as many people every week as you want. I focus in on 15 people. If you want to focus in on 100 people, do, but I focus in on 15 people because for me, it reduces overwhelm. And obviously, because I'm so fantastic, everybody's going to say yes. So imagine 100 people saying yes to you in 1 week. 15 people, okay? And every Sunday, I write down the name of 15 people with an intention and a purpose. So what are those 15 people? They are people that I am going to contact to ask if I can be on their podcast. I am going to ask, can I be on their radio show or their TV show or their YouTube channel, or can I do a training in their online group? Can I share something in their online group? Can I write a blog for them? Can I be part of their upcoming event? Can I deliver a masterclass into their group? Can I do something that serves the purpose of the group? Okay, so if it's like a mechanics group and you're a life coach, maybe you're not marrying. So, we want it to marry. We want it to be mutually beneficial. We want to share our product, but we also want to serve others. Primary, primary, primary. Once you are serving others, once you are flowing for others, where you flow, the money will grow. Once you are serving others, honestly, just get used to it. Seriously, because the amount of information that you give to others, the amount that will come back to you. So 15 people, 3, 3, and 3, whatever. If maybe there's 5 podcasts you want to be on, maybe there's 5 blogs you want to write, and then you make up the balance with whoever else. Focusing on what works for you. What I do, and it's a blanket email that you can just create. I help my clients create them. It's in my group as well. Just a simple email. Can I be on? Whatever. And I have, 5 or 6 emails depending on the type of business that it is. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to be really kind and I'm going to pop in the show notes here the link to my 5 or 6 emails, and I'll leave certain parts of it blank so you can fill in, so you have those templates there. So you're welcome. There you go. Nice little gift. So what I do is to reduce the overwhelm. So instead of sending the 15 all at once, my first thing of the day to do, and my pat on the back, because we know we've talked about me eating the frog. Well, I don't eat the frog straight away. So my pat on the back is, oh, I've sent 3 emails. I'm a rock star. I send the 3 emails. So whether it's scheduling, some weeks I'll schedule the 15 on Sunday and let them go out automatically each day. But usually it's just to get the momentum going and get that tick the box exercise going. So what I'll do is I'll send my 3 messages first thing in the morning, and then you're done. You are done. And what it does is it gets you across a variety of platforms. And what I find is that sometimes you mightn't hear back for 1 week, you mightn't hear back for 1 month, but you do usually hear back. And a follow up is really, really good. So making sure that you have a list of contacts and making sure that you know whereabouts in the contact email that you are. So have they got back to you? Have they not got back to you? And you follow up based on that. Honestly, the amount of people I have got to sign up to my own newsletter from this that have become clients purely because I wrote a blog for somebody else's platform. So sometimes the things that we do to serve other people, they absolutely 100% work for us. So that is number 3, creating that list. And do you know what? It's not so anymore because it creates work for us. It creates leads for us. It's really is wonderful. Now, next up is number 4, and what we are talking about in number 4 is consistent social media for you. And I know that you might eye roll here, and I know that mightn't suit you, but consistent social media for you. What I found is that there are certain social media platforms that do not resonate with me, that my message doesn't resonate for other people on there. Granted, and I might throw a yet in there as well. Granted, I probably haven't put as much energy as I have into the maybe main 3 or 4. So it's definitely something that, when you have the time, invest the time. But if you don't have the time, recognize the platform that is working for you and focus on selling your service on that platform, because there's no point in, throwing posts upon posts out and just going into that ether. It does not work. We need to have our area. And, number 5 is going to kind of solve that as well. So stick around for that. But we need to have that platforms that are working for you. So for me, platforms that work. Instagram, TikTok, a little bit of LinkedIn. Facebook does not work for me. And I have to make it work for me because that's where a lot of my clients are. But at the moment, Facebook is not doing me any favors whatsoever. So that's a complete aside. That needs a whole other project. But what is working for me is Instagram and TikTok. And what I find with the TikTok is that people come to me on TikTok, they follow me on TikTok, and then they kind of go, oof, she's on Instagram as well. I'll go over there and I'll make sure that she's actually a business that is recognized. I'll make sure that she actually has some testimonials, some clients that have used her previously to check it out. It's really kind of, it's to establish that you are an actual business and you're not just ripping me off. And it's plain and simple. So finding that platform, you do have different messages across each platform. TikTok's a little bit more snappy. Instagram's a little bit nicer. Facebook, there's a lot of opinions on Facebook. And it's all about, as I say, I'm going to repeat again, finding what works for you. The biggest thing across these platforms is consistency. And I say that honestly, with such resolution, with such, it's just a fact, guys. Seriously. I see so many people selling social media as their primary service and selling platforms as their primary service, and they're shit on them. And honestly, I think if you are selling a platform as, I am an Instagram guru, I am a TikTok guru, you are selling that. You need to be talking the walk, walking the walk as opposed to talking the talk. Seriously, it's, I see so many people dipping in and out, and it's like, well, where have you been? Where has your consistency been? Now, I do believe that we do need to give ourselves a little break from social media every now and then. But when we take our break, we have our schedule done. So we have actually got, whether you want a week away, you have a week's worth of content in a scheduler on Instagram, and you're still showing that presence and showing that consistency, even though you're just simply not pressing the post button. The other thing I will say as well is if you have a presence on Instagram at the moment, I am talking about May 2024. So if you're watching this and it's a little while ahead, I don't know what it's like at the moment, but I'm in May 2024 and I am telling you, Instagram is loving people at the moment. It is loving people. And the more you use Instagram, the better it is. And I'm not talking about multiple posts, I'm talking about one post a day. And once they see consistency, and once they realize that you have pillars to grow and you have your message that you want to get out there, they will help you grow. I firmly believe this with Instagram at the moment. They will help you grow. TikTok is another kettle of fish at the moment. TikTok is just not loving me at the moment, not loving me. I have really exploded on TikTok in the last year and I have slowed down dramatically in the past few months. And simply what's going on in the world has a lot to do with it. And that's okay. I mean, I think that, those messages are much more important than my, you know, well-being in business messages. What's going on in the world is so much more important than that. So it's only understandable that, that platform will be taken over by good rather than, by business. But if you are a new business starting off, if you are really trying to grow on that platform, honestly, consistency, consistency, consistency. And please give yourself 30 days. I cannot stress enough. If I had a new business, I would give myself 90 days on there and I would just have my same pillars, my same message. 90 days and you will see significant growth once you are following a formulaic plan. There are very simple things that you need to do on TikTok. Very simple. And it's a case of talking to the algorithm, typing to the algorithm. And if you think you haven't talked or typed enough, talk and type again. Honestly, you tell TikTok where you want your content to go. You determine where you want your content to go. You are the curator of your algorithm. The next thing is that I love creating my content in TikTok and actually transferring it over to Instagram. So I use what I'll do is I'll pop a link in as well as I write down a little note to do that. I will do a little reel that I did on Snaptic and Snap Insta. If you create content on TikTok, you can go to a website called Snaptic, pop your TikTok in there, and it will take the watermark off. You can do the same for Snap Insta, pop your reel in there, and it'll take the watermark off. If you are trying to grow on TikTok, if you are trying to grow on Instagram, do not post with the watermarks of the competing platforms. Do not do it. You will see larger creators do it because they can, because they are making money from the platforms, because they will be pushed out no matter what. If you are trying to grow, do that little thing in between. Make sure you remove those watermarks. Repurpose your TikTok content and bring it over to your Instagram and vice versa. Don't be a busy fool creating something across, and for the different platforms. Have that same message there. You can probably be a little bit more open on TikTok, a little bit more experimental on TikTok. The other thing I would say is that groups are very big in Facebook at the moment. So if you want to create a community, I would be very old school and create a Facebook community. Create that free community and reshare your content in there. Maybe give them something extra every week. I go live every week in my group. As far as LinkedIn is concerned, I was born to stand out, not to fit in. And I find that you have to fit in into LinkedIn. And I don't fit into LinkedIn, but I do put stuff up there out there, and it goes into like tumbleweed. It's okay. It's a platform that does generate me some corporate work. So it's definitely worth putting those tumbleweed posts up. Number 4, consistent social media for you. Instagram, give yourself 30 days. TikTok, give yourself 30 days. And then really and truly, if you're very serious about it, go the 90. But for Instagram and TikTok, use the same content for those 30 days. The reason I repurpose my TikTok content is because I like the filters. I love how it makes me look. It can remove some lines. I know it's fake, but I don't care. Look at my eyelashes. The 5th and final part of this is nurturing your own real estate. What do I mean by that? Your own real estate. What do you own? Listen, we don't really own anything as far as the digital and social media world is concerned. But what we do own a little bit more than the social media platforms is our newsletter and is our website. So start working on those as platforms. Start gaining email addresses. Start giving freebies. Start trying to build. And then you have, if somebody is willing to put their name and their email address into a landing page for you, they have made a commitment to you. And use that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a case of, it's not just that you're giving something free and they're getting it. It's like they have made a commitment to get that. So you have a ready-made audience there for you. So nurturing your email list. And I am not talking about, I love my weekly newsletter. I don't do it very weekly at the moment because I'm taking my own advice and being ching productive as opposed to be busy feel productive. And my newsletter has me a busy feel sometimes. But I do love it. I love it. But your newsletter is an email marketing, and your newsletter isn't really generating you any sales. You have to be very, very specific and very, very targeted. So if you are offering a freebie on your website to get people to buy into your newsletter, you need to follow that up. It doesn't go into the ether. It doesn't go into like, thanks a mil for joining my newsletter. See you in a year. No, we need sequential emails after that. We need to build our email flow. We need to build our email train. We need emails going off every direction for the variety of products that you offer. It's simple, simple, simple. The other thing I will say is, as far as your website is concerned, is it's a brochure. It's the brochure that shows people what you do, what you can offer. Make sure your website has your biggest offer on the front page. Make sure your website has your biggest offer on the front page. Offer a freebie on your front page. Offer another product on your front page, but make sure, because guys, there are people that are willing to spend money now. And I can't even stress that. There are people that are willing to spend money on your expertise now. You do not want to make it difficult for them. You do not want them having to navigate X, Y, and Z up on the search bar. You want to make it easy. You want to give them a direct line into where you want them to go. That is what is so important about your website. Where do you want your customer to go on your website? That is up to you. You choose that, and you want to have an end game. You want to make sure that your SEO, your search engine optimization, is on point. You can look up so many varieties of you can look up so many varieties of search engines for SEO. You just want to make sure that you have something something in common across all of your pages, something in common across all of your newsletters, something in common across all of your email marketing. You want to make sure that when somebody types in something to Google, that you appear. You can see the companies that pay money for this, that's fair enough, but you want to get so clever about, your SEO that you appear. I remember when I had my Pilates studio, Pilates Bray, I was number one. There were studios in Bray that you were paying very large amounts of money to, and they were number 3 and 4. I was number one because my SEO was on point. I loved that. I loved messing around with that. And it's lovely when you have location and when you are offering a business where people come to you to your physical location. It's wonderful in Google. If you have a business like that, make sure your location is in your SEO. Make sure your location is in your first 2 sentences of your business. The other thing we've mentioned both of them. Your mailing list, we mentioned your website. We just want to make sure that these are the things that you have control of. The other thing is that I talk about have control of, like, over, we have algorithm changes, we have different things that are outside of our control on our social media platforms. As far as our mailing list is concerned, that is to a certain extent out of our control. I want you to get into the habit of weekly or monthly downloading your mailing list from your mailing website. Download your mailing list. I use a couple of different sites. I use Flowdesk for my mailing list. I love it. It's so pretty. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. Other people use MailChimp. I could never use MailChimp. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Flowdesk is very easy to use as far as I'm concerned. I use Easy Peasy Funnels for different things. I have colleagues and peers that use Easy Peasy Funnels for their mailing list, and they absolutely love it as well. There's so much out there. You can use your website. I'm working with a client at the moment, and we create invisible landing pages, and they get their emails through that. So we don't even pay a third party for their mailing list or their newsletter, which is amazing. So we create invisible landing pages. They're not visible when people come to visit it, but we can use the URL, we can send it out, and we can get people to sign up to a new product or whatever through their website. There are so many different ways to wrap your head around this. And number 5, it's in my opinion, probably a close second to number 3. So number 5 is nurturing your own real estate. A little bit of a recap. Thank you very much for listening to me. I think I went off on a little bit of a mad tangent there, but your 5 revenue generating habits are going to be making sure you are time managing yourself, making sure that if you put something in for 30 minutes into your diary, put it in for an hour, double your time, because honestly, we all do that. We all think we're going to get something done in half the time that we do, literally. And you know what? If you do, you've got an extra half an hour back in your diary to do something else. So making sure that your time management is on point. Number 2, investing in you, making sure that you invest in your education, invest in your skills, invest in your community, invest in your mentorship. Now, that's not to say, and this is a big caveat, I'm going to big caveat, people. You've got enough courses, you've got enough diplomas, you've got enough certificates. Get out and do the thing. Get out and sell the thing. Get out and do the thing, and stop doing courses. You don't need to do another course unless it's going to propel your business. You don't need another certificate in order to validate you that you are qualified to do what you are doing. Number 3, your me list, your pick me list. It can be very boring, but honestly, it's so fruitful. I please let me know how you get on with this, because honestly, if you get even one yes out of 15, of course you're going to get more than that, but like that's one extra, stream of PR for you every single week. Consistency on your social media platform. Stop posting on social media platforms that aren't working for you. Make sure you find one that works for you and consistently post on it. One thing there is actually, if you have a product, if you're selling a beverage, if you're selling a t-shirt, if you're selling something tangible, you don't necessarily have to show your face. Come in closer here. Come in. If you are selling a service and you are selling the service, get from behind that camera. Get in front of that camera. No, I don't need to see any more quotes over lovely music. I need to see you. I want to see you. I'm buying off. And lastly, but not least, nurturing your own real estate. Don't forget, nurture your newsletter and your email marketing. If you're doing a weekly newsletter, sack it off to monthly. Sack it off to monthly and focus in on your strategic email marketing. If you don't know what your strategic email marketing is, you need to get in touch with me and I'll help you. I will help you do that. We will work together and build your email marketing. Honestly, I cannot stress enough. And your website, making sure your SEO is on point on your website. And what I want you to do, what do I want you to do? See, you've forgotten already. I want you to download your mailing list straight away after you hear this. Download it, put it into Excel, and every week or every month, make sure that it's up to date for you. I've been Linda Monaghan. This has been the Corporate to Calm podcast, or if you're watching it on YouTube, bye.